Guess what I just learned? Guess what I just learned? I learned that live videos cannot exceed an hour. So, yeah. That's the news of the day. That I didn't touch anything. I did reverse the camera to show off my little piece of equipment. But let's see if I can get it.
So for all you newbies out there, live videos can only last an hour. So kick this out. When did we? I started it not.
I didn't know that we had.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
In.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though.
No.
I'm guilty because if you ever wanted to kill time, ooh boy, I know how to murder it. I can shoot the bull better than anybody.
We didn't murder nothing, man. We had an excellent conversation, which will be posted here and on YouTube until we get taken down for heaven knows what. Eventually, I'm going to say something hateful, and I'm going to get taken down for hate speech.
Well, I just said I murdered time, so maybe I'm.
No.
I'll probably be in prison.
I'm freaking triggered, man.
Yeah,
triggered.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the reverse hyper. Yeah, I picked one of those up, so I'm keen to start using that. Get some of that.
Yeah.
Get some of that.
Just
home style traction done.
There it is, baby.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It is awesome on your back. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's what I've heard.
Even my kids, Pete was like, dude, that thing's stupid. Why would you get that? That's dumb. I'm like, dude, this thing rocks.
Yeah.
Try it. Because he's had some back issues. And he's like, oh, it literally pulls all that stuff apart. It's amazing.
From what I saw, Louis Simmons invented it because he broke his back.
Yeah.
So, it was
West Side Barbell.
West Side Barbell. Yep.
Yep.
Which that's a controversial guy in the weightlifting industry, but I don't care. He made something cool that apparently helps people. So.
If we've learned anything about the last 10 or 15 years, if you say anything outside of the cone of acceptability, you're absolutely controversial. So
yeah.
I said, screw it. We're just going to be controversial and say what we think we want to say and do what we want to do. And anyway, I think it's awesome.
So my bio says I do what I want.
Do what I want.
It's funny and that actually came about because years ago someone was telling me, you need to be training the next generation. You need to be teaching your followers. You need to be doing this. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If they can learn something from me, great. But it's honestly not my job to do that. I don't mind helping anybody out who asks for help or who has a question on what I'm doing or who thinks that what I'm doing isn't right and they have better input and that helps me. That's awesome. But, I'm not a teacher. I hated school. I'm not out here to tell you how to do your job. So I got kind of pissed one day and I was like, you know what? I do what I want. And then I put trade secrets, but so secret I can't tell you about them.
Well, that's the beauty of that. It's a
trick of the trade, and
that's a two-way street, though, right? Like there's 1,000 things that I know because I asked my dad because I was there. Like you were talking about with your dad, right? I get people have busted my chops and say you haven't been doing this for 40 years. I'm like, well, technically I have. Like I started the venting process when I was 12. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. When I started school, 18, off we go. But the reason that makes a tradesman or anybody successful is that you're invested in it, and you're not just being fed the information. Here's the tip. Here's the tip. Here's the tip, and that's where all those rock star handymen, like, things go sideways, is because they have one tip. And they do the one tip, and then, as you know and I know, okay, what's the next step? Oh, geez, I don't know what the next step is. I'm like, that's right, because you boil down the electrical trade or the plumbing trade or the heating trade to what? Like one tip?
15-second snippet? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how that works out for you, man. That's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, and
it is a disaster.
I don't blame anybody for making, tool videos. I follow all kinds of tool pages because I'm a tool nut, I grew up in this trade. My dad started in the trade when I was 4 years old. And so ever since then, all I've known is Klein tools and wire, It's been part of my life since then, because I've always been fascinated in what my dad was doing. So I always wanted to be around. And so I follow all these pages because, again, I'm a tool nut, I'm into tools and all that. And I used to post some tools I would have, and it was never to tell people to buy this or whatever. It was like, hey, this is working for me, or this new thing is pretty cool. But, I got away from that because I thought, man, everyone's thinking you're either sponsored or you're telling people they have to buy this stuff. And the reality is you don't have to do any of that. But it's funny when you see these pages that are like, hey, I'm teaching you the trade, but 95% of their stuff is, look at this brand new screwdriver. It ratchets.
That's right. Listen to it click.
And I'm not calling out Rob for his roll gears because I bought those things and I liked them a lot. But.
Listen, there's a spot for that everywhere, right?
Oh, sure.
Like if there's something that I bought and use and think this thing is fantastic. Here's the reason I like this is because the 15th time I've used it, and it's great. But if the problem with IG is they pull it out of the package, and they're like, ta-da, this thing rocks.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you used it yet? No. But it looks cool.
I always used to love Rob coined that term, garage cowboys, years ago. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Because it was literally like opening the box in the garage and drilling through a piece of scrap board. And like, hey, look at this review. I'm like, what did you review? The quality of the tape holding that cardboard box together?
Right?
The glue that held it together, and I don't know. But anyway.
I've gotten a lot of flack for that. I use that Milwaukee Air Gun to blow out toilets and urinals. Like, that thing is shit. I'm like, dude, I've literally used this thing like 112 times. It works every time. It's effective. If you know how to use it, it's great. I bought it. Nobody gave it to me. So your opinion of that doesn't outweigh my experience of using it. So
yeah, it's funny. There's a guy in town who.
Oh, you're back. No, man, I've never used it on a. I've used it on a sink a couple of times. Doesn't work very good on the sinks. I've used it on kitchen sinks. That's so. But for while we're waiting for Hillco to come back, I use it on urinals all the time. It works fantastic on urinals. Fantastic. Oh, he's trying to get back in. Oh, no, he's left. There we go. Bring him back. Toilets, I use it about half the time if I know it's just a soft paper blockage. But he's back.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my internet's terrible out here.
Yeah, I was just doing a fantastic review on the tools here. Don't worry, we got you covered. There's no dead air, man. Oh, I can't hear you now. There we go.
Okay, sweet.
There we go.
All right, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, there was a guy in town who was saying, man, I got this big job coming up. I got to do all this commercial gear, and it's going to be hectic. And I said, hey, you need to get one of these torque wrenches. And it was that new Milwaukee torque wrench, and I'd had it for a while, and great success. Well, he came up to me the other day at the store and said, hey, your torque wrench is no good. And I was like, my torque wrench is no good? And he said, well, I bought one and we used it, but it's like not performing properly. And I said, huh. He said, yeah, I tightened the lugs and I put my handheld and I was able to still tighten it more. And I said, did you compare it to like a properly calibrated manual? He goes, no. I said, because I've tested it against all my Kleins that are calibrated and never had an issue. I said, yeah, sometimes they feel loose, but I think that's because we've been gorillaing these things for too damn long.
Right.
And he was like, oh, well, but so that's the thing. Like, whether
is that the one that the light turns green?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not tightening wires.
Yeah. So, well, it's one of those things. It's like whether you're doing it online or in person, you're going to have that one person that thinks they bought a dud because you told them to, you know?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. I got away from posting a whole lot of tool stuff. I might post like my tools are all dirtied up in a hole in the ground, but that's not saying to buy them. That's like, hey, look what I did. I worked today.
That's good. You get a gold star, Nick. Working today.
Speaking of gold star, well, I am like 1/8 Jewish.
Oh man, we're gonna get canceled for sure.
but I'm also an 1/8 German. So what does that say?
So you're in conflict with your own self, man.
I'm telling you, it's
existential crisis right there.
It's a difficult existence, you know. What side do I choose?
Well,
no,
3 days you could be Jewish, 3 days you could be German. On Sunday you can just be Thick Nick. How's that?
Thick Nick on Sunday. Yeah, I got 3% African too, so I guess I got.
Did you do the DNA thing? Did you send it in?
Yeah, they have me on file. They're gonna start cloning.
Dude, they're gonna eradicate you for sure. You're done.
Hey, God help us if they start cloning me, bub. We are screwed.
I'm telling you, man. If I see Nick walking around up here, I'll be like, damn, it's real. Cloning's real.
Oh, I'm sure it's real. It's just not at the consumer level yet.
No. Well, they've actually, I mean, it's been fact checked and proven that they are mixing genes. You've seen the pig monkey. That's legit. Yeah. Like, it's not some weird whatever. Like, people are messing. Like, it's gonna be.
That's one of those slip a dollar in the Alex Jones was right jar, you know.
Can you imagine that? Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a monkey and we're gonna take a pig and we're gonna twist them together. See what comes out. I do some stupid shit in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna try this to see if it works. But
yeah, but you know, geneticists shouldn't be saying, "Hold my beer and watch this." That's for sure.
Right? But they are.
But that is what they're doing.
That just proves the point that no matter what you do, no matter how much money you make, no matter wherever you end up on the pyramid of power,
you always got a redneck in you.
You're all the same, man. Exactly. You're like, okay, let's try this. Let's try and see what happens.
Wouldn't it be cool if we hooked up the tractor to this tree stump and flung it through the windshield of the truck?
Right?
Always love those.
Well, what's frickin' Bezos doing? He's taking down that historic bridge because his stupid yacht won't fit underneath it in London. Did you see that?
No, I don't pay attention to any of that crap.
Oh, anyway.
I'll tell you what, just because I'm brown doesn't mean I'm not American. If it's not happening in the lower 48, I don't give 2 takes. I don't give 2 damn.
That's the truest thing you've ever said, man, right there.
I don't give a damn about your royal baby, you know?
Oh, my royal baby. Not my royal baby. I should say, I should shout out, just let everybody know that because I am Canadian, that it is the Queen's 75th Jubilee today. She's been reigning Canada and the Commonwealth for 75 years. So everybody that's on here now didn't know that before. You're welcome. You learned something new. Queen Elizabeth, 75th Jubilee. Congratulations to the Queen, which I realize you guys are the rebels that ousted her out of your country, but we still love her.
We're still salty about what she did to Princess Di, but hey, it's neither here nor there.
She's got it coming. Old Prince Philip, or what's his name? Is it Philip? Is he the molester? I can't say the P word on it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know it's one of them. One of them bastards.
It's probably them all.
Yeah, really and truly. Yeah. I mean, I think Princess Di is the only royal that anyone here in America ever gave a shit about.
It's true.
Just because she sent cool. Just because she sent cool.
Yeah, Canada as well. Everybody liked Princess Di. In fact, I remember this. I don't know what this will reveal about myself. I must have been in grade 8 or 9. We went over to a friend's house to sleep over to watch the royal wedding of Di and what the hell's his name? Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was on at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the gayest thing I've ever done. That's it. That's it.
Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna hit all the controversial points, Nick. Get canceled.
Oh man, it's amazing, right? When you think about words you said that had zero meaning of what they actually mean, but you use them in another way, in another context. But that, yeah, we've all said things. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, hell, I don't speak Spanish worth a damn, but I know a good amount of it to keep me out of trouble and to get me in trouble. But
Yeah.
some of the terms and stuff we use around here, they're pretty gnarly, you know. And it makes you wonder. It's like, when are these people going to start getting canceled for all this stuff?
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to repeat any of it now because I don't want to get you banned again. But,
Banned again, man.
But it's
yeah, I agree. I don't
crazy.
know exactly where it's all going.
The cultural differences. I mean, they're extremely strong. I mean, like I said, the things I grew up hearing and people saying, and literally meant nothing. But hell, you look back at it now and you're like, holy crap, you know.
Well,
You say that in public now, and you're a monster.
yeah, people have attributed value to that now, right?
Yeah.
That it's gone from when I was a kid, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And now it's, you know, oh, he called me a name, I'm going to sue you for $10 million.
Yeah, you can't call your apprentice a soup sandwich anymore, you know.
No. Like
they don't even know what it means, and that's pretty telling of how much of a soup sandwich they can be. But you can't call them that because they'll get mad. Can you tell if I grew up with a lot of military guys?
Yeah. Well, that's it, right? And I don't know. You know, people rail against that all the time. You know, the vernacular within those particular groups.
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of the time in the trade, and it's kind of it's almost a shame that it's come to this point that we're so rough. But hell, there's a reason why people in the trades are so rough. You know, because it's a rough existence.
It's a rough existence. You got to be taught to do it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, hell, my dad is a preacher, and he, you know, he's very strong about his beliefs and his words and choosing them properly. And you know, I told him, well, unfortunately, you threw me to the wolves with all the other sinners, and I kind of came out somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle. But
and I think that's great. And your dad he has to appreciate the fact that, you know, if you want to take that preaching thing absolutely literally, then, you know, we're all fallen people. It's a fallen world. It's
oh, for sure.
Like, nobody's perfect. And I do think on some level, we need to get to the point where a little bit more understanding and supportive and, you know, but less sensitive. Like sure. Everybody wants us to be more understanding and supportive, but nobody's willing to toughen up a little bit on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you said, and I couldn't agree more. The trade life, being a tradesman, you know, we can add all the things to it. We won't segregate anybody. Being a tradesman is a difficult and demanding existence. And it requires all your facets and all your talents to be successful at it. And it's not, there's not a finish line to it either. Like we talked about government stuff, right? Like there's no, I'm here, I won. I'm a successful tradesman. There's always health issues and supply chain issues and government compliance issues that just never end and are always changing. And so I do think I'll just repeat what I said. We need to be more sensitive we need to be more tolerant and inclusive, but at the same time, we need to try and toughen people up and say, life sucks. Life sucks. I'm not the demon or the devil that's ruining your life. Take responsibility for yourselves and for your lives and make it fantastically successful.
You know, personal responsibility is such a huge thing that it's not touched on ever.
Ever. Like it's sort of been lost in the weeds, right?
Give me 1 second.
Like everybody says or feels, not everybody. I'm going to try and remove that sort of stuff. That we're the oppressor is whoever that may be. The problem is over there, and they need to fix their behavior, and then everything will be fine. And I'm not saying there aren't abhorrent behaviors out there, but for the love of everything holy, you got to take responsibility for your own life and for your own decisions. And there's absolutely tragic stories out there, but in my opinion and in my experience, and through my lens, those are few and far between. And those are people that need our sympathy and our empathy. But I don't know where Nick went. I'm just going on a rant here, which will never end up well. We may have lost him for good. I know his internet was giving him trouble. His power station went down, for those that are wondering. Anyway, I am not going to sit here and ramble on for myself for more than another minute. I want to wish everybody an excellent Sabbath. I want to wish everybody success in whatever field of the trade that they're in. No, Royal Plumbing Contractors, we are on our minute 90 almost. I did find out that live videos only last an hour. We got cut off, and then we started up again. But Hilco is having some internet issues. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off here. I'm looking at my clock. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give Nick 30 seconds to come back on. I want to send out appreciation to everybody that joined, commented, and participated in this. I hope this becomes a thing. Next week we're going to be talking solar. His phone just died. We're going to talk about solar with I think his handle's Harvest the Sun. And then the week after that, we're going to be talking with my good friend here in Calgary on bees, Steve Rasco. And then the week after that, we've got Boston Monstars that's coming on. We're going to chat about everything amazing and terrible in the trade. And then I got a couple lined up after that. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, we're just going to play this by ears. It's totally just raw and real. Any of you that have been part of this, or want to be a part of it, DM me and we'll make it happen. There's no pressure. As you can see, it's just a casual conversation about whatever's going on in the world. It's 9:30 here, wherever it is over there. I hope you have an excellent day. I am going to buzz out of here. Salute. Oh, my sponsors, which aren't my sponsors. Brigham's Plumbing, Draymond, quality guys. I'm sure you all follow them already. If you don't, you ought to follow them right frickin' now. Good dudes, quality plumbers, all the rest of it. And that's how this is going to go.